And I don't want to repeat myself, but I know she came from a place of emotional distress when she reached out to you because of how I reacted. The thing though is it wasn't what was said that upset me. The other day, I was getting worked up over uh, a conversation I had with Richard.
Okay.
And, excuse me, Richard uh, really, really upset me. I'm still trying to figure out where to find the forgiveness to what he said to me. But it was after that that I had that really very angry moment uh, that Richard uh, had come up again when we had a conversation, or I guess when Rue had a brief conversation with him, and he made a comment that upset Rue. And I began overthinking. And in that moment, I said that I'm having a hard time feeling like he cares about me. And it was right after that. It was in the same parking lot where I was venting when what was mentioned from you was brought up. And I didn't really have a big reaction to it. But because I got quiet, I know Rue probably assumed that I was pissed off. And in the
This was ages ago, though. I don't understand why she would even feel the need to bring it up. And how is it her place to be speaking about our family any fucking ways?
I don't
All of these irrelevant motherfuckers have no business speaking about our family. They don't know us. They don't know the years that we have spent together, the things that we have been through, the things that we have suffered through, and the things that we have done for each other.
I don't disagree. The point that I'm trying to make is that Rue has a very frustrating time wanting to help when someone that she cares about is distressed.
I know.
She's talking about Kizu, Cat.
But you can be angry at somebody and still love them.
She does love you. I don't know if you'll believe me. I'm not expecting you to. I have been quite literally almost on the daily talking to Rue, getting to know where she's at, and I'm trying to give her alternative ways to handle her emotions. She has not been that great, and you know that clearly, unfortunately, and I'm sorry. Um, when she gets frustrated, it's something that I wish I saw more of so that I could learn how to help her with it. Um, but I have had a lot of conversations with her, and she has shown actual improvement.
I know.
I don't want you to think for a second she doesn't love you.
I feel like I can't win sometimes. Like, no matter what I do or what I say, I'm always doing something wrong. I'm not allowed to what if. I'm not allowed to be scared. I'm not allowed to worry.
You are.
Like I know that all of this is difficult and I understand that everybody is going their own way, but at the same time, we can make this work as long as people are willing to give a little. But it has to be from both sides.
This is what I told Ziggy and Rue, actually. I spoke to them yesterday. Um, because I called Rue out for what she did, and I told Ziggy too. And I'm gonna make a potentially gross assumption because I don't know how well you've been with Richard recently, but I made the point to Ziggy and Rue that one-on-one conversations get nowhere because everybody has an opinion. I said I slept on what I heard. And when I woke up, uh, I found the forgiveness. I'm not going to use the word forgiveness because then it sounds like I'm saying I was mad. But when I thought about what I heard from you, I had understanding. And when I thought about what happened with me and Richard, which I'll get to, um, I still felt the same. And I told Rue and I told Ziggy together that if I were to put myself in your shoes, I know that the last time we spoke, you and Richard have not been on very good talking terms. I said, I haven't spoke to you in a while, and I don't know if that's changed.
He's still pretty standoffish, but we
Mm,
have spoken a couple of times.
okay.
So, yeah.
I told Ziggy and Rue yesterday that if I put myself in your shoes, I said to both of them that you also are going through your own turmoil of stress and concern because you worry about him. And if my father wasn't speaking to me, which respectfully he's not, I said, I understand if Etta was either frustrated, I said, or we don't have the full context. I said, us going to talk individually doesn't make us any better.
What did Kizu say that I said? Because this sounds like it's recent.
You said it a while ago. You said it was a while ago. And it's part of the reason why I bit my tongue.
Because, I mean, literally, if it was that, yeah, it was back when you were first talking to me about it was probably even before your attack. Or maybe right after.
It doesn't matter. I promise you it doesn't matter. I don't
That's why I don't understand why she felt the need to speak. Like, she needs
because
to just
hold on.
keep my name out of her mouth.
I don't know what was going on with Kizu. It kind of came out of nowhere, which is why
Do you know I pushed to have her suspended?
I believe it.
I'm wondering if maybe she found out that I was the one that pushed it, and she's trying to get back at me somehow.
I haven't taken it into a lot of consideration because I didn't have the full context.
You know that I would never trash talk you, right?
I know.
I have always defended you. I never let anyone say a bad word about you in my presence.
I know. There's a reason why I didn't come and talk with you. There's a reason I didn't try and have a one-on-one with you about it because I told both of them, Ziggy and Rue, I said it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Um Again, I know Rue came from the mindset of she wanted to help and clearly she did not help.
Made it infinitely worse.
Yeah. I want to reiterate that she loves you and she would never hurt you. I don't want to speak for her, but she told me this. And if she hasn't mentioned it to you, the least I could do is tell you what she told me.
No, she told me when she came over and talked to me.
I know she feels bad. I don't know if she's expressed that at all, but she feels bad about what happened. Even admitted that there was a better way of going about it, because that wasn't the best way.
I mean, she literally told me to get in her car, drove me to a remote location, and she was literally just spitting her words at me. She was so angry. To the point where I gave it back. And I told her that she needed to remember who the fuck she was talking to. And that she was to speak to me in a civil and calm manner. But I can't lie to you, Flop. That moment when I saw her reach into her waistband, I almost screamed over the phone because I was on the phone with Sean. Like that's I was scared through the whole thing when she insisted that I get in her car because she didn't want to talk to me in our home. It was like she was trying to intimidate me.
She wasn't trying to intimidate you. She was trying to defend me, and she does not need to do that.
But when she pulled out whatever the hell she pulled out, I almost yelled over the phone for Sean to come and get me immediately. Because I genuinely thought she was going to hurt me. Because then she walked away, out of sight, like she had to get away from me to keep herself from doing something she'd regret. That's what it looked like to me. Left me standing there alone in the rain in Polito, where I had just been stabbed. But I digress. So, although I understand and appreciate that she sees the error of her ways and that she does genuinely feel remorse for what she has done, I can't just snap my fingers and shake off the uneasiness when she comes near me. It is going to take me a little bit of time, and I hope that all of you can understand that. I'm not trying to blow this out of proportion. I'm not trying to be melodramatic about it. I'm just trying to process it so I can get over it.
You take all the time that you need, because I'm not here to try and get you to just understand that it was a big old misunderstanding. I wasn't there. You take the time that you need. The only thing I ask is that you at least know that she has been trying to make progress with her emotions. And she's been
Yeah.
doing better. As fucked up as it is to say after what happened. Again, I was not there, so I can't speak for what happened then. But yes, she could have done things very, very differently. And I'm sorry that that happened.
The only thing that concerns me is that after I told her that she just needs to come to me in the future and talk it out and not let it get to this point, and that she can never do that to me again. And she told me she couldn't promise me that.
She was agitated. I know because I was on the phone with her. She called me. I told her to do what she felt was right. And that I wanted her to tell me what she was comfortable with when she felt like she could.
Do you realize if she had done something?
She wouldn't have.
But if
I
she had,
I don't like these what ifs is the problem. I know she would not.
and what if I had said it?
Said what?
What if it hadn't been a misunderstanding? What if she hadn't misheard?
She wouldn't have hurt you. Like I said, you don't have to believe me. I'm not here trying to sell this. Especially the day after it happened. She would not have hurt you.
Well, like I said, I accepted her apology, and
Chad, I'm going in emote
I
mode.
know that she does feel sorry for what she's
Behave,
done.
please.
Um, but I am going to need a little bit of time.
You take all the time that you need.
I can also tell you that Sean is not happy.
I really can't say I'm surprised.
He is livid, actually, if I'm going to be honest. And I would suggest not speaking to him until he's had some time as well in regards to that. Um, and as far as, I mean, you don't have to tell me about your talk with Dad. But what I do want to remind you both is that you both have suffered a trauma recently. And I mean, I'm still trying to get him to go in for his checkup, which I spoke to one of my colleagues. So hopefully I can get him in maybe today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
I don't want to cut you off, but I did text him yesterday, actually. I haven't
Yeah, he
spoken to
told
him.
me.
Yeah. All I told him was that make sure you go for your checkups for your head. I want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. And he said, yeah, will do. Um, which I was surprised by because when I had asked, apparently he hadn't gone. But it feels weirdly like he is willing to take my advice. And I don't understand why I don't want to say he refuses to
He,
take other people's, but you get what I'm saying?
the distance isn't, um, it's not to punish us. It's not because he's angry with us. He just sees, he sees that, his path is different than ours, and he doesn't want to be an obstacle, which is pretty much the gist of what he told me. Because, full disclosure, I did have a talk with him yesterday, and I told him what happened between Rue and I. Just like she went to her dad's, I went to mine.
Sure.
So, um, I tried to explain to Rue as well because she brought him up in our conversation about the comment he made, that if an ADMC file crosses his desk, that he hopes that she's not in the club and that she took it as a threat. And I was like, honey, it wasn't a threat. If anything, it was him saying that he cares about you because he's going to do his job regardless. And he just hopes that you're not in the club so he doesn't have to investigate you. That's all he meant. And yeah, I don't know. Everybody is kind of going about things very strangely. He clearly needs his space, so I'm giving him that because, again, he suffered a trauma and I'm trying to let him sort his way out of it the way that he feels, you know? Um, Is it the best way? No. But I think we both know that not everybody does things, that handles things in the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, from our conversation yesterday, his intentions aren't to punish us. It's to just stay out of our way and let us live our lives. I just had to remind him that, he's very much a part of my life and brings me a lot of happiness. And if he's gone, then I don't get that happiness. And the same goes for you and Ziggy and Rue.
And obviously, it is shared on this side as well. I do want to briefly backtrack. Um, I I'll spare the details. Um, Funny enough, I actually spoke to the chief of police today. She wanted to know why I left, and I told her all the names of the people for why I left, and even told her that if I had a say in it, a lot of them would have been fired. Um, I tried to
Yeah.
explain. How do I say this? I I talked to Richard. I talked to him in Mirror Park,
Yeah.
and by the end of the conversation, he told me that he asked me if I knew what happened to Cody. And he told me that Brian Knight shot him and killed him.
Yeah.
And then he went on to say to me that I was going to end up with a bullet in the back of my head. And that's the last time we ever spoke. Because not 2 weeks prior, I almost had a bullet to the back of my head had they not have fed me to a mountain lion. And I told him that what he said hurt. And his only response was that the truth hurts.
Yeah. That wasn't handled the best. I know you don't remember Cody, other than the one argument y'all had before he died. But
Probably, yeah.
neither of our dads have really processed his death, even all these years now. No, Matt never did. And Richard did not take it well. And it is still very much a hole inside of him. So just as Rue did something bad, coming from a place of emotion. Dad saying what he said, although not ideal, was also from a place of deep emotion because he's terrified. I mean, you heard him in that conversation with us in months ago where they never officially claimed me as their daughter because they were afraid of setting themselves up for losing another child. He loves you, Flop, and he just doesn't want to lose you. Could he have worded things a little bit better and not lashed out? Yeah. And I'm not trying to invalidate your feelings because you have a right to be upset. But just for a moment, stop and put yourself in his place and just try to understand. And he is also still coming off of his own trauma. So I've noticed that when high stress topics are brought up, he begins to struggle to speak.
I've noticed that too.
Yeah. So, not to say that his cognitive abilities are impaired, it's just there is still something going on. So, just give him some time, let him heal. But just don't ever think for 1 second that he doesn't love you. Please, because he does.
I know he does. I do.
And you can be angry with somebody and still love them very much.
And I do. I texted him about his doctor's appointment because I do care. Etta, to be honest, I just wish he knew just how close he came to losing me.
He does, trust me. He was right there when I was the one that had to tell him about you being in the ICU. And I sat him down and I explained everything that happened. I explained your procedure, your injuries. So he knew everything. And then I sat with him because he was quiet. So he is very well aware. And I feel like it was maybe some last ditch effort to say that whatever path you may be looking down now, he just doesn't want it to lead to a similar destination.
I'm sure
At,
there's. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, no, no. I was just going to say at the end of the day, we all just want our loved ones safe. That's all. And yeah, we may overstep. We may speak out of turn. We may lash out, but it's only for fear of losing something that we love more than anything.
There's probably a lot of truth to that. In my conversation with him, it felt more like a guilt trip for not being a police officer. And
You know that he and Matt have always just wanted you to be happy.
I know. I do. I just hope he understands that me being a police officer is what put me in that predicament. And he understands that I really do just want to be happy.
Listen, sweetheart, no parent is going to cheer on their kid to join a life of crime. Hell yeah, it's your first trip to prison. Let me get a picture of your mugshot for the wall. Nobody's going to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, and of course, breaking the law is going to lead to situations that are going to put your life in danger more often than not. So, I mean, it's just still afraid of the same outcome. You're just going about it a different way now. So, did you
Yeah.
really tell him that you were going to do crime?
Is that what he said?
He said you alluded to it. Yeah.
I told him okay. I asked him if how much I've told him about my past, cuz I don't remember a lot of our connections we had prior to my incident. And I told him that before I ever joined the PD or EMS, I used to be an adrenaline junkie. I
Yeah,
always
you used
was.
to race. Yeah, I remember you told me.
Mm. And I told him that I was considering uh, racing. That was it. And he took that as that I was going to kill innocent people. Because he referenced 2 people that passed away in the hospital that day at Mirror Park. And he told me, and I quote, stuff it in your pipe and smoke it. So,
Hmm.
I won't lie to you. I mean,
Well,
that's all I told him. But
yeah.
I didn't allude to anything else.
I mean, as a doctor, technically, if you hit somebody going 150 miles an hour, you're gonna kill them. But, I mean, I get what you're saying.
I
You're
assume,
not you're
yeah.
not out straight out murdering people or, heisting and taking people hostage. I get it. I get it. Of all of the crimes, it's you forget your sister used to be an adrenaline junkie
Well,
too.
yeah.
So yeah, I get it. I don't know.
Rangers got a good lineup at
I want us to be able
good
to
getaway
feel our
drivers. Sorry,
feelings
sorry, sorry,
without
sorry, 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 sorry.
worrying that the other side is going to abandon. Because it doesn't have to be like, oh, well, you don't like the way I live? Well, then I'm cutting you out. Like,
Yeah.
like I said, you can be mad and still love somebody. Like, we just need to agree that there are certain things that we just don't do anymore. Like, a completely open and honest approach probably not going to work with us anymore. Don't tell me anything that you're going to do illegal that I have to keep from my cop husband.
Yeah.
You know, don't, you know, don't openly admit to crime in front of my cop husband, please. Cuz, you
I,
know,
I think they
he's not
already
going to keep quiet.
I think they already know.
Yeah, that's
I'm talking about the PD. I'll spare the details, but there was an abandoned car, and someone I was with was like, "Oh, is that the car?" I said, "I don't know," and they said, "I wonder if it's been hauled in yet." And they went over and started lockpicking it, and 4 cops swarmed the car. They used it as a bait car. My car was on scene,
oh.
so I drove away. But yesterday I got pulled over in my Regina, of all fucking cars.
Nice.
And while talking, Lucas pulled up behind me, backed up, slow rolled next to me while I was talking to Flacco. And he gets on megaphone and goes, "I know what you've been up to," and drove away. So if I put 2 and 2 together, I think I can probably figure out that they probably saw my plate. I really didn't have like a direct involvement in it, but
Yeah, yeah.
PD's gonna look at me like a fucking prize. They're gonna find any reason to give me my first ticket.
Listen, the truth is, no matter how hard you try, the truth will always come to light.
Oh, it will.
So it was only a matter of time. I mean, hell, you should have seen the day I fucking got arrested by Matt.
Ooh, how the fuck did that go?
Oy, 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 oy. So Aiko and I failed
Oh,
a we failed an S plus boost. I choked on the
uh,
hacks.
do me a favor.
Uh
Let's hop in the car and let's go for a drive. I just heard a
oh,
gunshot and I hear sirens.
okay. Yep, yep.
Surely we'll get away at 17 miles an hour.
Hey, this thing goes like 115. It's not that
Does it
bad.
actually?
Yeah, yeah. This is a lot better than the Weevil for sure.
Oh, yep, there they are behind us.
Oh, well, there you go. Good thing we left.
Yep.
But yeah, we failed an S plus boost, and we were just two-manning it. So when the engine died, we just got out of the car and sat on the hood and waved. They were fully expecting a swap car or a pickup interference, something like that. We were like, no, no, we're good,
Just us. Yep.
And McQuillan was there, Tig, and he called over radio that it was me. Because Matt was insisting. He's like, who is this? And he was like, it's Etta. And
It's always the
immediately
Irish
Matt
that
swoops in.
T-fuck.
And then I was literally surrounded. Snow even landed Air One in the middle of Legion Square. And they all circled me and her.
Just to know what was going on.
Well, no, just to shame me. It was Matt and Espinoz, Daisy, Connor, Stubble.
God, I miss Stubble. I hope he's doing okay.
Tig, Barrick, I mean, tons of them. They were just all circled around me, just
They're probably more shocked that
shaking
you
their
just
heads.
gave up.
Well, yeah, that too.
You're out of emote
but,
only.
I
You
mean,
guys
that
can
was
behave,
just how
please.
I did things. I never hurt anybody.
Mm.
So, that was how we did it.
Was Matt the one that processed you?
No, Tig was. But Matt was there.
Fucking
So,
figures, dude. Irish, fuck off from this family,
but
dude.
Matt
Jesus
also
Christ.
understood why I did what I did because we had a conversation about it. He was actually the one to talk to Richard because when Richard found out, he wouldn't speak to me.
Hmm.
And he started calling me Ms. Hawthorne. He wouldn't even call me by my first name. And it
Oh,
broke my heart.
hell no.
Yeah. Well, I think this was before, this was technically before I was considered family. So,
Hmm.
but, Matt and I were close. And I think this was actually before you and I really started to have conversations and whatnot. So,
Sure.
but yeah. So trust me, when I say that I understand, I get it.
I can respect that.
But as far as like us and anything, if I do something, just come to me and talk to me.
Of course. Like I
Don't
said,
assume the worst, please. Give me the benefit of the doubt.
I can't speak for Rue, but I did. Which is why I didn't call you and why I didn't. Granted, me not calling you is also still part of my problem that I should have communicated earlier. So,
Yeah. Because I mean, her animosity and hostility was complete. It caught me completely off guard. I was genuinely concerned and worried about her, and then that's what I got. And I had been awake for all of 5 minutes before going into that.
yeah, that's not a good start to your day.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Well, again, I'm sorry. And I will never take away your time to recover from this. So long as you know that she's been trying to do better. And she clearly fucked up. So maybe I'll ask her one of these days when she's, I'm sure I could talk to her today if she's already feeling remorse for what happened, but just get her side so I can try and tell her, hey,
Yeah,
maybe don't do that next time.
yeah.
Let's try this
And
next
like
time. So
I get like I said, like I have already, I've already like accepted her apology and I know that she feels bad. And as long as it is something that she learns from and does better, then great. But I can't guarantee that that would be the outcome if it were to happen again.
I wouldn't expect you to.
So I really hope that it is something that she's able to work through.
Why is my tinnitus going crazy right now? Oh my God.
Because even if I were somehow able to forgive it, I know Sean wouldn't. I don't even know if he'll be able to forgive her this one, honestly.
I'm
He was very upset.
I'm not asking him to. I would never want him to, but she she is trying.
Yeah.
It was a bad way of going about it, but she really is trying. I know Matt has already talked about not even wanting to have a connection to Rue, and she already has her abandonment, which is why I'm really trying with her.
Yeah, and that's good. I'm glad that she has you and Siggy. And I know that these things take time. So, like I said, just if you do talk to Sean, just don't bring it up.
Yeah, no.
And yeah, just give him time.
Sorry, I'm getting phone calls.
No, you're okay.
You're good. Um,
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Not this second. Um, just
I
know that
mean,
I'm
now's the
sorry. And
time.
no, I know. I'm saying not this second is in like there's nothing else I think that has really come up that I really need, like think needs to be addressed or talked about. I think everything that has been in mind has been brought out. So, um,
Okay.
I did talk to Ziggy and Rue and said that if anyone is feeling any animosity or concern, that we should talk as a group and not do the individual conversations. But I did say that because I think the consensus of Rue's anger came from something involving me, I did say to everybody that I need to have a one-on-one with you and have it be an actual one-on-one so we can figure at least that out. Because I never held a grudge. So,
Okay.
but
That's good. I
I
was almost afraid to talk to you.
you shouldn't be. You know,
Only because if you had come at me as angry as she did, I don't know if I would have been able to.
fucking Pipsqueak. Can I run Pip over? Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'm all for euthanasia, honestly. Motherfucker's a menace, tries to kill people on a regular
That car
basis.
had bullet holes on the side. We're getting the fuck out of the Dodge on that one. Okay,
Oh
cool.
my god.
See ya.
What is happening?
I don't know. I'm gonna park on the bridge and I'll walk back to work.
No, you can just
You sure?
park it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Um, just know that my phone's always open, and if you ever need anything, you can call, and I will promise
Yeah.
you that I will do better at calling because I did fuck that up.
Okay.
But
And the same goes for me. I mean, like,
yeah,
literally, if there's anything that you want to talk to me about, then just call me
I will.
and we can have these conversations.
Absolutely. You know, I
And I
will.
will always be honest with you. Like, if I have a problem with something that you do, I tell you.
Mhm. You have, and that is something that I guess we have that I don't know if everyone else does, but we have at the minimum. So I take that for what it's worth.
I just get really sick and tired of, I feel like other people are stirring, acting like they're coming from a place of good intent, but when it comes down to it, nobody knows us better than we know each other.
Hmm. Like I said, and she said it, and I personally took it with a grain of salt. Um, so just know that I
Yeah.
didn't take it for face value.
Well, she has officially broken my trust, regardless, uh, and I will never speak a word to her ever again.
Hmm.
So she tried to speak to me tonight, and I just walked away from her. I want nothing to do with her.
I wouldn't blame you.
She had no business speaking for me, first of all. Second of all, to relay something, whether it be correctly or incorrectly, that I may or may not have said. Because, any concern that I have ever had regarding you, I have told you to your face.
Yeah.
Just like with PD, I told you that I would hope that you would give it time and you would think it through and you would talk to people on both sides before making your decision.
I can promise you that I did for that. I spoke to
I know
God.
you did.
I don't know how my vocal cords work after all the conversations I had. Poor
Yeah, lots of
Daisy,
conversations.
Daisy Moss today. Out of anybody I've spoke to, it was her I felt the worst for. She's like, "What's going on? What was your reasoning for leaving?" And I said, um, how far back do you want me to go?" And I gave her an hour of just, I'm pretty sure I took one breath in that entire hour. So
Yeah.
I told her, I said, "I know you're here with good intention, but, you know, I don't see myself coming back. And I hope that she does good with the place." But after speaking with officers, there's a lot of hesitation. A lot of people think that she's doing Nino's work for him. So
Well, I
I guess
mean,
we'll see.
she worked for the PD for all of a week before she quit. And then she came back for 2 days, and all of a sudden she's chief of police. The optics are god awful.
Yeah.
So, I wish her all the best. I hope that she can be a far more effective chief than the last one. So
Yeah.
we'll see, hey.
Yeah. When you put
But
it
if
like
she
that.
starts going off into the mountains with some hopeful love interest, then I'll just throw my hope out the window and wait for the next chief.
I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't. People are that place. I hate to say it. If it's not the chief of police, that's the problem. It's gonna be
Some of
someone.
these other bozos that are in, yeah, no,
Yeah.
trust me. I get you. That's what I just have to believe and hope in the few good ones that are still there, like Sean, totally not biased,
Mm.
and Dad, of course,
Dude, Sean catches so many strays.
both of them,
Mm.
that, there are still officers that have integrity and competence, and we just have to hope that they will be able to set an example and set a standard. So we'll see if the chief, adheres to that standard.
I hope so. I did warn her and told her that I wish her the best with Conan Clarkson.
Jesus Christ.
Did you hear about that?
No.
He's a marshal now. The guy that seceded
What?
from the state so he could get a mobility scooter is now working for the state.
Yeah, well, Kyle Pred was also working for the state for a brief moment, and then that didn't work out, and he got
Yeah,
fired.
that
So,
that went womp womp.
yeah, I'm sure his is going to go just as quickly.
Probably. Oh god. I got Ziggy texting me. I'm gonna give him a call real quick, but if you need anything, give me a call. Let me know.
Okay.
And I know I will talk to you soon. I love you and I'm sorry.
It's okay. And I
Um,
love you too.
I'm gonna give Ziggy a call, but I'm also gonna
Yeah.
try and make a little bit more money today because goddamn, I paid nothing. This civ life
Yeah.
is bullshit.
Well, while you're at it, you want to take a look at my car?
This one? Oh sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Bring it on over.
All right.
I want to jaywalk because I can now. What the fuck happened to my car? Bastards. Oh my god. Dude, actual lawnmower. Pop the something. Pop one of them.
There you go.
I got.
All right.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Your car is what class is this? You might be. Oh, yeah, you're probably fine.
Oh, that reminds
Yeah.
me. I need to buy repair kits. Fuck.
Yeah, I definitely need a repair kit.
I buy like 3 limb bitches at the start of the day. Every day I'm around.
Yeah, you're good. Honestly,
I
Sometimes
am
it's
good
not
for
enough.
right now. Okay.
yeah, you could probably do a one across, but it's like just on the threshold that like it would probably be showroom